Our philosophy, providing a stimulating, safe and supportive environment in which all our students can aim for success. The interactive whiteboards in the classroom stimulate the learning experience. All the learning engagements at Podar are truly unique, as the learning environment in the classroom caters to all type of learners, and stimulating activities are provided to enthuse learners. At Podar, our philosophy is to encourage in students a love for learning and develop in them an inquisitive nature, so that they can utilize effective study habits for the rest of their lives, promoting in all students the skills, the information and processes which can prepare them to function effectively in a rapidly changing world.
Collaborative learning, field trips, vocabulary building, reading log, class progression tests, and teaching using ICT are some of the best global practices implemented in Podar World School.
Today's topic we'll consider as a journey of a seed. Our group has written a poem on the journey of a seed. As I reach for the sky, I hope to fly, breaking out of the soil with work and toil. I grow big and tall, never again small. Go.
Our needs are seeds, we see them growing from the seedling stage. The flowering stage brings us petals, the roots and the stems.
How do we cope up with this energy crisis? Yes?
There's certainly like resources which are not non-renewable, such as coal and petrol, and there's some renewable like the sun, sunlight, wind, water. So by using those resources which are infinite, we can save a lot of energy.
Very good.
We will start with dividing you guys, and I have some cards. Okay, there are 4 characters. Okay, I'm just spreading the cards, and you will come and pick up one. Okay. Okay. Now, if you see your cards, there are 4 characters. I'm sure you want to sit with your friends. There are 4 characters: Neil, John, Nikki, and Tina. Okay. Now all Tinas together, all Johns together, all Neils together, and so on. Come on. Now these characters are not just merely characters. They are they're just like you, okay? They're one amongst y'all, and they also face problems like y'all do. These kids are attacked with a small problem, okay? And the problem is to do something with chemistry. That is why I'm going to teach you this. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you one placard in which I have the problem written. You will read it aloud. Can I have somebody from Neil?
Neil was cooking on the beach. Accidentally, he dropped all the salt on the sand. Now he has a mixture of salt and sand. How can you help him separate this mixture?
John shopped some flour and white beans from the supermarket. On his way home, he had a fall and dropped his bag. As a result, flour and white beans were mixed in the bag. How can you help him to separate this mixture?
According to you, what are we going to learn? Excellent. Problem-based learning, right? So you have all the things with you, the problem, yes, but how are you going to actually do it? You have to actually do it. So what you will do is you will turn your placard and you will write a list of requirements that you need to use to do this experiment. Fine?
First we put the salt and sand mixture in a beaker. Then we put a funnel right here, and there's a cone shaped filter paper, and there's an empty beaker. And then when we pour the mixture in, the sand stays here and the salt goes in the water and it's separate.
To separate the mixture further, we would need to evaporate the water from the salt water mixture.
So what method have you all used?
Filtration.
Okay, so you all learned how with filtration they have helped Neil solve the problem to separate salt and sand.
Now John had this mixture with him. So like both white beans and flour both got mixed. So then he used a sieve and tried to separate both the mixtures. And then he found that the mixture has been separated from the flour has been separated from the white beans.
This technique is called sieving.
Sieving. And why do you think it helped?
Because the sieve has small holes and these are the large particles, so that large particles will stay in the sieve while the small particles will drop down.
Okay, so what method have they used?
Sieving.
Sieving. First, we can effectively separate mixtures. So you have on your own done it. I'm going to give you exactly 10 minutes and you will put down the procedure that you used on the paper. You will draw each and everything. Very importantly, you will have to label each and everything or each and every particular picture on the chart. Give you a sheet. This sheet has three. This particular sheet consists of 3 sheets, and in which you have all learned from all the other groups how to separate different kinds of mixtures, right? You will solve the same thing on the paper. You will write your observations and your techniques and what would happen when you would filter and what would happen when you would sieve. Okay?
I want to move to an activity today which is called 4 corners. I have with me these card sheets. Each one of you take 1 card each. Don't bother about the colors. Now all those who have reds, put your hands up please. Pinks, pinks, pinks. Okay, wonderful. All the pinks get together in that corner. You have to discuss within your groups, the 4 groups that you all, and only stick to your group depending on what has been designated to you. Discuss whether animals are good to be kept captive or not. So if you're for the topic, obviously you're going to discuss why you think animals are good to be kept in captivity. Those who are against the topic will obviously discuss why you think the animals are not good for captivity, and those who are going to find facts will use this laptop to make your research work. Please, what do you understand by the word captivity. Animals in captivity. Yes, Arjun?
Animals under control of humans, or like in cages, like tigers in zoo and lions.
Now, prison obviously is a term that you have given. Now, depending on which part of the corners that you belong to, see what best justice can you make. Your time starts now. You have exactly 10 minutes to discuss. Put your 5 points down, and then you will come here and present to the entire class.
Animals should be kept in captivity because wild animals like a tiger can attack human beings when human beings like people like us, they go camping in a forest. Like wild animals, they are not kept in captivity, they can attack us. And
Injured animals can be looked after better in captivity. For example, white tiger.
Alright, please give the team a big hand of applause for having worked very well.
We should be animal friendly as they have a right to freedom. Animals are a help to our environment and population as they complete the cycle. Wild animals have a right to their freedom just as humans do. They are forced to be kept in captivity and some may die due to that.
Fine, a big hand of applause for the team that's against the topic. And facts, please start with your
We are going to give some facts about animals that are held in captivity. Right now, fawn. Zoologists can help endangered animals in captivity by breeding them.
Now against, animals should not be held in captivity because they grow better in their natural habitat as they feel more comfortable and they've got their own type of species and then they can interact with them.
Alright, fine, a big hand of applause. I said a big hand of applause. Thank you. Now, how do you expect, what is your solution? I mean, how do you expect the government or what steps should be taken to ensure that they have the natural habitat? How?
Because humans are already using plastic.
So whose duty is it to make the decision?
We should give a certain area of land to the
Who is the authority to decide that? Is it us?
Government.
The government. Very good.
Now the caption says corrosion of Taj Mahal. Here there is another monument and you can see all this part is undergoing corrosion. So we are going to have an inquiry based lesson where you have to come to a conclusion or find out reasons why this all is happening. I would like to shuffle the students and group them.
Each color card please come on this side and everybody with the lemon color card please go on that side.
So I think 2 students have got cards with an L. So now your task is to conduct a session where you will take questions from all your group members and write down all the questions.
What are the long-term effects of acid rain? How do we prevent acid rain?
The questions are, what compounds does acid rain contain? Okay, how exactly does it cause corrosion? What causes acid rain?
What are the causes? What does it do to the environment? What's the process of formation of acid rain? What are the long-term effects on the environment and how to prevent it?
So now we all have come to the conclusion that acid rains cause all this. When you were discussing, Tushar, any compound which you all came across?
Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen. Yeah, that's true.
So sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, as you'll say, it is there. Research on this topic, come together and then club your research, fine, and then we will come to the next part of our lesson.
See, basically, this type of reaction, since it is precipitate, okay, it'll probably be a displacement reaction, and most probably we'll be using barium chloride and copper sulfate. Okay, now when these two react, the displacement reaction takes place. A displacement reaction takes place, and the result is barium sulfate and copper chloride, whereas copper chloride is soluble, so you won't be able to see it, but the barium sulfate is insoluble, it forms a white precipitate. So that is a test for sulfur.
Yeah, do the group agree? Fine. So if you all agree, now just not guess, just theoretically. So I want one of you to come and try it out and to see whether Tushar is right.
This is copper sulfate, and this is and this is barium chloride. When you add them, you get a white precipitate of barium sulfate and copper chloride.
Since sulfur dioxide is responsible for the acid rain, where is all the sulfur dioxide coming from? So now we take it to the field and we test the exhaust of one of the most common vehicles found in Indian streets, a rickshaw.
Sulfur dioxide is soluble in water, so we are trying two methods to collect this gas from the exhaust.
Go to the lab and see the test for sulfate ion. Even though the test turned out to be negative, we believe that sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide are still the main causes of corrosion of these monuments. This was smoke which we got from the vehicles. It could be negative because the vehicles use nowadays CNG or catalytic converters which remove all these kind of gases and make it like less pollutive.
Okay. So what can we do to prevent this? Well, we can use CNG, compressed natural gas, we can use catalytic converters, and we can use scrubbers in factories. But ultimately, our final aim is to stop polluting.
Hello, can I speak to Disha Traders, please?
Yes.
Ma'am, this is Jaya from Epicenter. We have a nice project proposal for you. Would you like to be interested in the same?
Yeah, but can I know how much does it cost?
The initial investment that you would be doing would cost you around 50 lakhs. Would you please be able to make arrangements for the sources of finance?
Could I reply to you by tomorrow?
Yes, certainly, ma'am. Tomorrow we'll get back to you with the final project report. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
We students of Podar have come over here to DCB Bank to have an appointment with an executive of the bank to know some more information about sources of finance.
What are the formalities of borrowing a loan?
Now at the branches we give loans immediately, like the customers have existing term deposit accounts, so on that we give a loan which is 2% more than the existing FD rate. So suppose the FD rate is 10.5, then the interest rate on the loan would be 12.5.
Ma'am, what are the actions taken in case of default of payments of interest on loans?
Now, first of all, we just debit the customer's accounts for, taking the interest from for the loans. But in case there are no balance in the customer's account, then we give them a phone call or we just send them reminders so that they could come and service the interest. And even if that fails, then we still try to do a rigorous follow-up, and then ultimately we have to take that as a non-performing asset for the bank.
Vihan? Yes, ma'am. Balance sheet, my trading account, my profit and loss account, and all the bank balance I have. So how much bank balance do I have?
50,000.
Okay.
And this is your bank balance of 50,000.
Okay.
And here, these are your.
Okay, and how much money can we use up from my bank balance?
You can we can arrange for at least 5 lakhs. We can arrange this by selling stocks, then investments and other fixed assets.
Even I can help by introducing capital to the business?
Yeah, that will make up to approximately 1 lakh. And you can also bring up some capital introduction in your business, then so by selling stocks, investments, fixed assets.
All this will make up to at least 5 lakhs.
Okay, let's see external options and let's talk to our financial advisors.
Yeah.
So, can you take an appointment for today?
Hello, Siddhant. I want an appointment today.
Oh yeah, you can come now. Hi Disha, how are you? How's your business going?
It's going good, but then I've just introduced to a new project.
Yeah.
It cost me 50 lakhs, but then my bank account has only 5 lakhs.
Can you show me your statements of accounts and balance sheet? Your business is profitable and you have many assets.
Oh yeah, see, you have 2 sources for you which will help you to earn more capital and more money, which will help you in your project. So like the internal sources, you can either introduce more capital or either like how he said profits. You can sell. You have any old assets?
Yes, I do.
You can sell them and you can earn more. And about external sources, you have debentures. You can get money from the public, and you can return it back to them when you earn profits of the project.
And here are some schemes to help you.
And also bank loan and sales of shares can help you.
Okay. And use the brochure first.
See, this is the amount of profit you will earn if you do things. Like if you increase your capital, this profit will increase.
This will be the rate charged by the bank if you take a loan.
And the interest you will earn.
Okay.
Or you can even convert your business into a limited company then you can sell your shares and you can get more profit from that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I got a phone call and I was told that I was to be introduced to a new business project which would cost me 50 lakhs. My bank balance was 50,000 and other documents such as balance sheet, profit and loss account, trading account, books of accounts helped me to introduce more money towards the project. My accountants took an appointment with my financial advisors and then they told me that I could receive more money by selling stocks, selling my investments, selling fixed assets and introducing capital to my business. They even told me that I can take loans from the bank. Finally, I got 50 lakhs and I could invest in the new project.
Tell me the advantages of internal source, please. One of you, anybody.
Okay, internal sources because you own those things and you can easily sell them off, but external sources you have to pay interests and all.
Very nice. Very, very good point.
Graphic organizers are the illustrations which are expressed. The information is expressed diagrammatically and systematically.
Force is one component of a pressure. Correct? If I apply on my hand, nothing happens. Okay? This pen, if I apply on hands, I get hurt.
Pointed.
Because it's pointed or sharp. That means what is the difference? Can you tell about scientific difference? Very good, she said. Because of the surface area.
Area increases, the pressure decreases.
As the area increases, the pressure decreases. So that means it should be directly proportional or inversely? Inversely. So our formula comes like this. Pressure should be inversely proportional to area. Pressure is equal to what we can write? Force upon area. Very good. So pressure is equal to force upon area.
क्यों? कि इस पे अपना धार लगा हुआ है। ये क्या है? कुछ नहीं, इसे नहीं कर सकता।
Yes. Now, can you see the difference between this two activity, very small activity, where you use both the sides of a blade?
Yes, sir.
Now, anybody can cite what is the particular difference between using both the sides of a blade?
The sharp part has a lesser surface area and the blunt part has a more surface area.
क्या वुड है, लकड़ा है, इस पर डार्ट हमारे से ठोकने के बाद क्या है, ये फट सकता है, ठीक है। इसके लिए में फटने के नहीं कारण क्या, अगर गट्टा लगाते हैं इसके ऊपर, ये लगा के ठोकने के बाद ये नहीं फट सकता है, क्यों, असर इस पर थोड़ा कम आता है, इसके लिए इससे ये नहीं फट सकता है। इसे डायरेक्ट हॉल करने के बाद ये फट सकता है। इसे फट सकता है, ये नहीं लगाने के बाद ये नहीं फटने का चांस है।
Yes.
So this means that if you don't put the paper, because the nail has a pointed end, and so it will go in more. But as you put the paper, even the surface area of the paper will be calculated, and the impact will get less.
Okay.
So the pressure gets
Very good.
less.
Questions?
अगर आप गत्ता लगाते हो और फिर अगर आप वो नेल को डाल देते हो अंदर, तो गत्ते को निकालोगे कैसे बाद में?
क्यों निकालेंगे, फिर निकालने का जरूरत ही नहीं उसकी।
That by using this small load spreading surface, we can put the nail inside this object very easily.